Hey, what's up folks? Chris Souders, Slunger Cat Outdoors, and on today's video, we're doing a complete walkthrough of the all-new Protege from SeaArk Boats. Stick around, let's see what this thing's got. All right folks, real quick, let's go over some of the specifications of this boat. This is a 20-foot boat with a 94-inch beam and a 26-inch side. Now this is the same proven 15-degree hull that's been in the ProCat lineup for many, many years. So it's gonna be tough as nails. So let's jump inside, show you what the inside's got. All right folks, so let's start at the front of the boat. And on the front, I went with a Minn Kota Terrova 112. This is gonna allow me to be able to control my boat no matter what body of water I may be on, river or lake, do it safely and fish the way that I wanna fish. Now on the front of these, there is a humongous anchor storage area. I have a Hurricane 26-pound anchor, 350 foot of anchor rope, and there is lots of extra storage in here. Now if you're somebody that doesn't like to fish off of an anchor a lot, then you can put a smaller anchor in here and use this for any other thing, maybe extra life jackets or just whatever storage you want to put up here. Now, moving on back, we have a huge casting deck that is self-belling, so any water that comes up here is going to be able to escape out of the weeping holes. And then in the front, in the ProCat series, in the Protege, I went with just a dry storage box up here. Lots of area for drift socks, cast nets, extra docking ropes, anchor ropes, bait nets, lots of many things you can put in here. And this is a dry storage area as well. Now, one thing that this boat does not have is rod storage. So I went with a 8-rod vertical rod storage from Fat Fish Designs. It fits into a seat pedestal, puts everything up here on the front deck out of the way, nice and neat. So when you're done or you're traveling, you can travel down the road with these rods sticking up vertical. You don't have to worry about them getting beat up on the bottom of the floor. Put rod socks on them and they're safe, ready to go. So one of the biggest features I really like is a walk-through windshield. Since I got my first ProCat back in 2011, that is a feature that I will never do without. Having that to protect you from the wind, from the rain, the elements, is just a huge, huge thing. Now my favorite feature of this boat has got to be the glove box. Now this is a completely dry storage glove box that is absolutely huge. Now, I'm gonna start pulling stuff out of here and show you guys that that's a 60-pound boga, some hats, some towels, life jackets, fire extinguisher, extra foot pedal for your trolling motor, a full first aid kit, and a dry storage box. That is very, very important. You never know what's going to happen to you in the water. Another dry storage box with all of the flares, air horn, your flag, your safety stuff in it. And then another dry storage box for your remotes, your cell phones, your wallets, cables, whatever you may have. So as you can see, this is absolutely a humongous dry storage area. So moving on, one thing I want you guys to remember is to use your imagination a little bit with this boat. There's a lot of storage in places that you wouldn't really think there would be storage. Underneath the consoles, I went with a Plano box that is actually made for a small car, but it works perfectly in here. I can fit 2 of these underneath the console and it gives me 100% dry storage. Now in this one, I got all of my daily tackle that I would need. And in the other one, I just use for extra dry storage for maybe a client that's on here for a guide trip or just dry clothes, whatever I might need for the day. And these fit really nicely underneath the console. So in the past, some of these consoles were part plastic and part aluminum. Now they have done 100% aluminum on both consoles. Extremely strong, no matter the weather conditions that you put them in. So let's move on over to the driver's side. And just like on the passenger side, you got to use your imagination a little bit to get more storage. So I found a daily cooler, just a small cooler that fits nice and neat up underneath the console to be able to put snacks in the top and drinks in the bottom, and it works out perfectly for myself. So there's not a lot of stuff on the floor of the boat. I like things to be nice and neat. And like I said, that fits nice and neat up underneath the console. Now up here on the switch panel, SeaArk has done you a huge favor. There's a lot of extra spare open switches for you to be able to put lights, plug-ins for bait tanks, whatever you might need, extra USBs. All you got to do is plug them in to the switch, already on a fuse, everything that you would need for daily use. So for the sonars, I went with a Lowrance Elite TI2, that's a 12, and a Humminbird Helix 9. I really like this combination. It fits really nice and neat up in the console. The wiring, I covered up with actually rod socks that I cut down. If you guys don't know that trick, make sure you check it out. It's nice and neat. Balls out mounts are super solid, and that's my choice for these sonars. I hit huge waves with this, a lot of rough water, and those balls out mounts do not move once you get them where they need to be. All right, so moving on back towards the back of the boat. Now, one of the big differences that you're going to see between this boat and the ProCat line is there's no rod lockers. And that is one of the reasons that I really wanted to try this boat out this year. It frees up a lot of space for kids, families, whatever you may be. Maybe it's 3 people back here that you want to stand if you're a bumping or walking baits in a river. This frees up a lot of room that is 100% open for somebody to fish out of. Big, large standing deck in the back. Now, something that you guys are used to, this is the 80-gallon live well from SeaArk. We got 2 pump in and pump out and recirculating, also oxygenator and insulated live well lid. Plenty of room for big fish if you're a tournament fisherman. Now, as you guys can see, I have it decked out with monster rod holders. Now, these are the OG collars, but if you are somebody that likes to match the collar pattern that you have on your boat, Monster Rod Holders offers the OG and the Amped series of lines from red and black, neon collars, whatever you might like. And these are mounted onto the adjustable T-bars for the back of the boat that he just started coming out with. Another thing that I really like is from Catfish Clothing, and their brand of products. This is a cutting board, but what I like about it is it's nice and clean, and it mounts onto the rail of your SeaArk boats. Super easy, one pin takes it on and off. And for me, having that accessibility and easeability to be able to take that off while I'm traveling, throw it in the live well, nice and neat. Once again, I like to have everything nice and neat. Everything has a purpose and a place. If you never heard that, that is something you guys should stand by. Now, moving on back, you know, underneath the consoles, I said use your imagination. Well, I haven't got this boat completely 100% done yet. As you can see, we have 4 lead acid batteries in here. Those will soon be replaced by lithium Biano power batteries. I'll still have a lead acid battery for my cranking, but the lead acid batteries for my trolling motor will be gone and will be replaced with lithium, which is going to free up a lot of space. And we have a lot of extra space back here. I've got another 28-pound anchor, extra life jackets, and still have room for my Minn Kota 4-bank charger and to put other things like tools, extra fishing gear, stuff like that. Now, as you guys can see, I went with a 200-horse Suzuki 4-stroke motor. If you guys are looking for a highly dependable, maintenance-free motor, definitely check out Suzuki motors. Now, SeaArk has many different options, and if you want to check out all the options that are available for the Protege, go to SeaArkBoats.com. One of the options that I went with were the flotation pods and also the tandem axle trailer. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this complete walkthrough of the Protege. Make sure to go over to SeaArk Boats and check them out. Find your local dealer. And until next time, as always, God bless, tight lines, and we'll catch you on the water.